Hi everyone, we are back and we are late. Hi Brian, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
No,
It's
that's
good.
me asking you about wristfuls.
Yeah, and that's me being giving you an Aussie answer. Yeah, no, it's all fine. It's all great. uh,
It's good to
for all
see
the
you, man.
listeners,
Mm-hmm.
for all the listeners, what was a small jobs has turned into a huge job. It's
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
it's a broker with many services and many foundation services. I've got all the brokers done. I've got all the foundation services done. We're just moving into the final stage of creating a top level orchestration service.
I mean,
And then it
why
should.
do you think I asked you to do it? Because I don't want to do it. I want to do the easy things, the things that, make me look great, but I don't have to deal with anything. So, that okay, so
I just
broke.
merged.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, okay. Ah, okay. Talk to Elbek because there's some stuff that he will
Ah,
follow up with you on. Elbek,
yeah,
please
Yep.
just take a look and stuff
yeah.
like this one in here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so hold off on the PRs, Brian. Just this one too.
Whoops.
Yeah. So it's okay, but get the functionality, but hold off just a second with the PRs just to make sure that we are standard compliant coding standard. Just so you guys remember, because I was having this conversation with a very near and dear gentleman today, and he said to me, "What is the standard?" And I said to him, "Well, the standard is five things. There's the engineering standard. That's the most prominent one. That's the one that we call standard. There is architecture standard. There is the coding standard. There is the business standard, and then there is the team standard. And it's all kind of mixed together, right? They're all kind of mixed together. Like you are in one iteration and one pairing session, you're jumping from business to engineering to high level to low level to team standard and back. You're just going like this. I can't document the standard the way books are written because books represent things in the 2D space. The standard is multidimensional. Like in one single action, you are touching on business when you're gathering requirement, you are doing coding standard, you're doing architecture standard, you're doing team standard. That's all happening really, really quick in a small intervals of time during a pairing session, right? And that's what I was telling Cecil, actually Rodney and Elon in the Inside.net show is that it's not what you would think on the internet. Oh, there's this new pattern. Oh, I know about dependency injection. No, 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 no. All of this is happening underneath, but there is a whole framework that's governing the entire process. So the best way I can explain it is just write 5 books and tell people here, go deal with it. Anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to kind of talk about, this is a strategy. This is a team standard. What we're going to talk about, which is basically just to give people kind of a map. Let me just kind of find an empty page here. There you go. So check this out. What we did so far is that we created a file broker and then a file service, and then we have the upload broker and the upload service. This is the structure, right? So, a request comes in, we send this to file broker. Let me zoom in a little bit just so people see. So here's your file broker, and then you have your file service, and this is your file orchestration service, right? But in here, we call this local files broker, and this is your local file service, right? And we believe that these two are done. We believe also that this one is done because this is the file, what do you call it, AI file service, right? This is the one that's pending because it's a much harder problem. It's a much more innovative solution than I think that one of the beautiful things about this project is that it produced a lot of enhancements across the libraries that we use and even give new ideas to new libraries that we can create. The one thing that we're waiting for here is the AI file broker, the API broker. So this guy is on hold. This is how I say it's blocked. It's not blocked, not because we don't care, but it's because there's some work that Brian is doing behind the scenes that's actually taking care of that. Like this is the heavy lifting. This is RESTful Sense in here. RESTful sense, and we're reliant on this to go talk to the cloud. So RESTful sense sits between us and OpenAI API. This has been the story since we started these sessions. Now here's a team strategy for everybody. What happens if we still have some work going on here? So orange means in progress, some work going on. Red means blocked. We can't do anything yet. And green means completed, right? Because we already have these two services, even though this one here is not merged yet, we can branch off of this one. Like we can have a branch off of this one and go build an orchestration service. This will buy Brian more time to go implement RESTful sense without delaying us. And that's the beauty of dependency injection and version of control. On top of it, team strategy. Like, what's the point if you know what dependency injection is, but you don't know how to leverage that as a strategy to allow other people to work in parallel with you? Okay, that's the beauty of it. It's not just to be able to test things, it's to be able to strategize and run and deliver multiple components without being blocked by one thing or another. Okay? So this is the plan. The plan here is to basically go and say, okay, let's go build this file orchestra because now we know what to do, right? And basically the request will come from here, be like, here's a URL, go ahead, upload this file. And we're gonna take that URL, sorry, the directory, and go pull a file. So this here, let's just resemble the because pictures are very, very important. You know, we are 4 people on this channel, and each and every one of us comes from a different nation, truly. Like we're as diverse as it can get. Okay? So pictures, you know, makes people much more comfortable understanding what's happening. So this is a file that's reading. So we're getting a URL from the client or directory, and then we're taking that path, getting the stream, and then we're sending that stream down here and reporting back the result. That's all, and that's it. Okay? Let's start with an orchestration service. And I'm going to branch off of that, and then we're going to go and say this is blocked until this is done. I also know that there is the file delete and all that, it's all pending. So there's going to be a whole rush of things that will get deployed. Like I think 0.4 is going to be quite a big release, which is okay. This just tells you how software engineering works. You know, sometimes you're gonna have ups and downs. You know, you're gonna have some things that you need to deal with. In big part, by the way, just so you guys understand, one of the biggest reasons we're kind of slow a little bit is because I am telling Parker not good enough. He has 50 solutions, and I'm saying, hey, dude, nope, not good enough. By the way, Parker, just so you understand, long discussion with Christo today about the same thing. He's like, I'm not sure we're going in the right direction. And I was like, okay, give me a solution. This is how I basically tell people, if I said you can't use builder, you can't force the consumer to use your local model, your external model coming from RESTful sense, and you can't force the consumer to build a multi-part form. He's like, then he's like, he's like, well, the only option then is he said to me, I'm just trying to follow the thought process of Brian and why he's doing what he's doing. And I said, because we need to have a thing that allows us to send models and they turn into multi-part form. And I think your solution is beyond elegant, beyond elegant. But I already told you that.
he had the same conversation with me. It was
Oh, he
pretty
did?
bad.
As far as I remember,
Like I know where he's coming from. And it's just for me, it was like another walk around the table.
I think Paul tried to start the conversation and I put him on mute and just walked out.
Really?
Hassan, about that response, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna have this conversation today. Logging off. Goodbye. You know, anyway, let's let's go to this and let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna start the orchestration service because I've been talking and not doing anything. I'm gonna get latest. So this foundation's upload file is complete, right? and we're just having a draft PR sitting out there waiting for the OpenAI piece to happen. So what I'm gonna do here, what are all these colors? Every time I update Visual Studio, it does something like, what is this versus this? Anyway, I'm gonna create a branch off of the branch. So I'm gonna go here and say users, users, Hassan Habib, orchestrations, dash AI files upload. Okay. And now we enter the orchestration stage for the very first time in this. By the way, Gummimundur, if you are watching, that means you're gonna have to do something called pass through. Pass through meaning you need to propagate that delete file through the orchestration service, even if you're not really orchestrating, because your client's supposed to talk to only one service. This is something that bothered Kailu and I for a while, but there's no way around it. If you want to be standard compliant, you're gonna have to do it this way. Kailu, you know what I'm talking about, right? With the orchestrations, pass through, orchestrations,
Yep.
and yep. And then we have AI files. So I'm gonna create AI files in
So with the
here.
pass, can I just ask a question? With the pass-through sort of method, do you still do the validation and stuff on it? You'd have to.
Only what you need.
Yeah, the
Only
bare
what the
minimum.
service needs.
Yeah.
Like the foundations, they will validate every property.
Yep.
Orchestration services and processing services, for that matter, and any higher order business logic will validate only what they need. That's it. That's all they
Yep.
care about. Okay, IAI files,
Just
orchestration.
their own dependencies, and etc. Yep.
Exactly. So Control KE, and then I'm gonna go here and say, so what did we agree on with the, we said value task like this, and it returns an AI file, and then upload file async, and this guy takes in a path, file path. Any objections? There will be another overload where this guy takes what? A stream, but that's not what we're going for yet. Okay? Fantastic. A fantastico. Okay, let's go and create an orchestration service. This is great because we get to show people what orchestration services are, answer all these little questions. AI file orchestration service. Okay, so we have two dependencies this time because that's what orchestration is. It's like the orchestrator, the what do you call him, Brian? The in the orchestra, what's the name of the guy that's kind
Mad
of
mad guy that waves his arms around.
I call him Tim Minchin.
I think
um,
conductor is the term. Yeah.
conductor,
Yeah.
not the maestro or something like that. Anyway, so okay, so here's a private read only. We start in the same chronological order. Which dependency are you going to be calling first? Well, I'm going to be calling local file service, so that makes sense. And then private read only, and then AI file service. This is the one that's going to be doing the upload. This is going to be really, really, really easy. Like orchestration services have the power, or higher order business logic in general. You think a lot less, it's a lot less grunt work, and it's a lot more brain work. Like you're doing a lot of brain work to kind of get to, like what Brian is doing right now. He's doing orchestration. It's a lot of brain work. It'll take a lot of work there. I better give the code to Elbek before he falls asleep. Are you still there, son? You're good? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the people watching, this guy had to travel 50 kilometers so he can come to the stream.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a lot. I appreciate the dedication. So AI, so IAI file orchestration service control period. Control period is your friend. If you're using Visual Studio, control period is your friend. I see some folks using VS Code. It's super primitive compared to the stuff that you can do with Visual Studio. But if you're on a Mac, what are your options, right? Visual Studio for Mac is getting there, but this tool is beyond superior. Beyond superior, right? I can view my database, I can manage my cloud, I can, run, I see my solution. It's beyond superior. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tool. Haven't used Writer much, but if you've used your Writer and you think it can't keep up with it, that's totally fine. And then there's always the folks that I worked with. I worked with a couple of folks some 8 or 9 years ago. They wouldn't use Visual Studio. They wouldn't use anything. They just use Notepad++.
Mm.
I was like, what's wrong with you? Like we've been doing .NET. Yeah, they tell you we've been
Oh,
doing .NET since 2002.
they're
We
almost at the point of ascension. Like, leave them alone.
yeah, yes. I swear to God, Brian, command lines, even before .NET Core and all that fun command line stuff, they would do CSC, C Sharp compiler,
Yeah,
right, to run the
Ma-
code.
Masm,
Weird,
Masm, and all. Yeah, all right.
weird, 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 weird. I was like, okay, if, whatever floats your boat, buddy. Orchestration service tests. If that's why is that how you want to fly, go for it. But a little weird. Okay, so anyway, partial. By the way, just heads up, something I learned today. If we don't make our test classes public, because you're calling XUnit, and XUnit is technically a different class. So if this class is not public, you won't be able to be discoverable test-wise. It won't be discoverable. What up, Ahmed? Ahmed Magdi says morning. Okay. Okay. So let's mock some stuff. Private read-only mock local file service mock private read-only mock AI file service AI file service mock. My computer is too slow. We need to throw another 128 gigs of RAM in there.
still, still flossing.
Parker, Parker, Parker's like, you're a jerk. Anyway, this is funny. Okay, private read-only AI file orchestration service, right? That's this guy, and then here's your CTOR, and then this dot local file new mock, this dot AI file service AI file service mock equal whatever, and then let's create this dot AI like that. AI orchestration equal new AI orchestration service, AI file orchestration service, and then, by the way, someone told me today that there is an existing effort where you can do dependency injection through decoration, but it's terrible for testing. Like instead of you passing, like check this out, Elbek, like if you have your service like this and you're passing these guys like this, instead you do it like Java style. You go and say inject and you pass in the type like that. What's the problem with it? Testing that is a nightmare.
Mm.
How are you going to test that, right? I mean, the Java folks
Wait,
have been doing it for years, but
Blazor's doing exactly that.
for injection?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Interesting.
When you look at a component, that's how you do your injection. You use var attribute.
How did we inject in XUnit? Sorry, how did we inject in BUnit the dependencies? We just instantiated the service. That's what Eagle Hansen did. We just instantiated the service. Yeah, that's right. I'm making a bunch of interns build an end-to-end intern tracking management system. That's something that I actually need. I couldn't find anything in the market for it, and we're gonna have to hop back into some of the Blazor components and stuff like that. It'll be fun. I gotta have a UI project running at any point in time. I love Blazor. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Okay, so we have this in place. What do we need to generate really? So private static, we need a path, right? We need a path to be passed in. So here's a string, create random file path. Elbik, just a new change that I'm looking into, mnemonic string. If there is only one string that you have to generate, probably give it a business logic name.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give me a random file path.
Okay.
Um, and also, what do we need to create? We need to create a stream, right? So private static static stream create random stream. How did we create a stream, guys? Let's go into AI files. How did
think-
we create
I
a
think you
stream?
created a random string and then you pull the buffer out of the string.
Is that what it is? Stream read out return 0,
Not sure.
whatever that is. We probably need to look into it and clean it up a little bit. Ah, there you go. Because Gudmundur told me this is not really a random stream, Hassan. Like you're not really creating a random stream here. So I need a fix for this. I need a code rub for this to make this actually random. And it also needs to work. So, okay, we have a stream. So we're gonna push in a file path. File path is gonna give us a stream. We're gonna take the stream, hand it over to the AI file service, the upload, which is this guy. Upload takes in as an input parameter an AI file. So this AI file is gonna have a request in it. Yeah, because we need to pass the name and the content and the purpose and all that, right? Where are we gonna get that information from? Where are we gonna get that information from? From the AI file that's being passed in as a request? Then we need a virtual model, right? We did say file path and AI file request, right? Anyone remembers?
No.
You could.
Um,
So let's go back and rethink this. Your orchestration service. Let's think this on the board first. Your orchestration service will have this dot AI file orchestration service dot upload file async. This guy is going to have some parameters. We know that there needs to be a file path in here. We know that for sure. Right? Is this all we need? Which basically means that underneath we're calling, I need to get a stream, file stream. So this will be this dot local file service dot what did we call it? Read file or something like that. Let's see here. Local file. Let's see, local file services. Here's my interface. Yeah, read file, and it takes a path. Good. So this here is read file, and it takes in the file path. Okay, now this guy is returning to me a stream, but we're requesting the service, await this dot AI file service dot upload file async is requesting a new AI file model, and this AI file model will have in a bunch of things. It will have the stream which we have. That's the
Yep.
file stream. But it also needs to have a name, and it needs to have. You said in here we need to have
purpose.
a purpose.
Yeah.
The purpose have to be passed in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we can't hide hard code fine tune, for example. Yeah.
Okay, so there is a purpose. So we have the answer to this. The purpose is passed in, so that's a purpose. What about the name? Where are we going to get the file name from?
Well,
Do we let the consumer?
we can take it from the file, or we can allow the consumer to specify another file name. Just because you've got it on your disk with a file name doesn't mean you may not want to send it with that file name. Just a thought.
So file path, we can get the name from here for sure.
Mm.
So that means this orchestration service is going to have to go and say file name, right? Brian, you didn't even have to deal with the whole. You remember? You know what I mean? You don't even have to deal with the thing anymore.
The file stream, because of the file stream, has the name inside it. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, the file stream does have the name inside it, right? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that. That's
But
right.
we're not sending a file stream. We're sending a stream.
We're sending a stream, right? So the orchestration service could easily go and say file name equals and get file name from the path. That's
Yeah.
okay. That's legitimate business logic. So that answers our question. That basically says, okay, so we're going to have this in here. And what this orchestration service is going to return is the AI file response. So that's the request, just so you guys know, like inside that guy, there's actually a request, AI file request. And this guy is the one that has the actual stuff in it, like that. That's the trick. See how orchestration services makes you think. It's not the stuff that you're doing. It's your brain is starting to think, how do I stitch these together? How do I orchestrate? You become the maestro or the conductor of the work.
That's why sometimes I like to do a POC so I can see how it's all going to be wired together at the end.
Yeah. I also do a trick. If you're pressed against the target date, you know, you can release beta with happy path.
Mm.
And then you do the next iteration for final release with validations, exceptions handling, and all that kind of stuff. But we're not pressed against anything. Because unfortunately, some chaos engineers out there, they will go and say, oh my God, it'll take forever to write all that stuff. Be like, okay, buddy, here's bare minimum standard compliant bare business logic, and then you continue to iterate. So they can shut up and deal with an instance that's running in production, but you're already saying this is beta, it's not ready yet. But your beta is their production. Like what you call beta is what they would call, oh my God, that's final. But it's not final.
Yeah.
That's only when you're pressed against the deadline. I don't like to use deadline, let's just say target date. Target date. Okay?
I was pressured. I was feeling my internal pressure to sort of do that sort of happy path thing for RESTful sense, just so we could go forward. But I decided
See?
not to push
Yeah,
back.
yeah, thank you so much for that because we're not I told you many times we're not who are we running against? Nobody. Nobody. Nobody owes us anything. We're just doing whatever the heck we want. Okay. Okay, let's write some business logic. Let's go here, copy paste. Here is my test. I'm gonna say dot logic. Upload. And then we might need compare logic in this one because we're gonna construct a model. So we're gonna need the compare logic here at some point, very, very soon too. Okay, here's a fact. Public async task should upload file async like this. And the cool thing about this is that we're actually like the consumer that's sending us the request, they aren't sending us a file. Well, let me circle back on this. Do you guys want, okay, let's see what you guys think about this. This will be interesting. Do you want the consumer, oh, not this one. Do you want the consumer, let's see here. Where's the other thing that I was writing code in? Yeah, there you go. Okay, here it is. Do you want the consumer to pass in file path and purpose or to pass us an AI file? Because AI file here doesn't have they won't be able to pass a stream, that's for sure.
Not unless we create another method.
Right. So does it make more sense for them to go and say file, AI file, new AI file, and then we have a request, new AI file request like this, and this AI file request will have name, that's your file path, and then you have your purpose, So they're passing in the purpose in here, and they're just leaving the stream empty, which is what we call here what? Stream or content. Content. We're leaving it as null, but in here they will have to pass in this AI file in addition to nothing, just like that. It'll be just that. And then the other overload, they're gonna have to pass in the stream and the AI file. Is this too crappy? Is this kind of too crappy in terms of design?
Why don't we just have one method where you just pass in a stream, a purpose, and a file name? It doesn't matter if you're passing in a file stream. It just pushes the responsibility of stripping out the file name back to the consumer.
Well, you're gonna have two methods on this orchestration service, right? That's for sure.
Why?
Because if you spread it out and you say, hey, I only want a purpose and a stream, then you don't need a file path.
Yeah, you do.
Why?
You still need a
You-
file name because when it hits the OpenAI,
That's right.
yep, that's what
But
it uses. That's what it uses, the extension of the file name to validate the file.
But isn't that already what the request is saying? Here's your name, purpose, and content, which is stream.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering. Who's gonna be? So the orchestration level is that going to be like an exposure? If it's not an exposure, I'm happy. Yeah.
I mean, it is the last point to the exposure, so you're basically, it'll basically look something like, which is, I have to say, like it must be a little bit more consistent with what we've been doing so far. If you go onto the orchestration service, this would look like that, like this. You're passing in an AI file, which has the information that you think is relevant, and you're getting back an AI file with a response.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go this way. That's fine. Here's AI file, like that. And we can process this. Like we can say, okay, if you don't have the stream, you're giving us the name. It should have the file path in it. And then Elbek can document that on the model itself. I think that's a little bit of a trip. So let's go here and say given, when, then, right? And we're basically going and saying var random AI file.
So it means we are switching to the paradigm that the name is the file path, right?
It is, yeah. And even in the stream, if you say stream.name, it'll give you the entire file
Yeah.
path. Yeah.
Yeah. But we were thinking we should extract the file name only instead of
We
providing
won't.
all.
We won't. Brian's
We won't.
library is doing that. His RESTful
Okay.
sense stuff is doing that already. Right,
Okay.
Brian? I think.
No, I'm not touching the file name at all. I don't actually see the need. When I think about it, it does it all itself. It just looks for the extension. It really doesn't care about the rest.
Okay. Okay.
And what do we, the file name sort of becomes our own artifact of documenting where it came from. So, I don't know if I've had experience uploading lots and lots of blobs, and so what happens is when you load millions and millions of blobs from all different sorts of locations, a lot of people have files with the same names, so you can't use their name. You end up giving them.
Yeah, but if you're pulling files and it's coming back like this, that's
It's going to impose, where to put it on you. Yeah, I get you.
okay. So okay, and we don't even care. Like, I need to just generate an AI file, really. So let's go and get an AI file in here.
So,
I'm gonna go
sorry, going back to your RESTful sense question, should RESTful sense be getting involved in the business logic of what the file name's been used for? And how it's
Uh,
been?
Remember
can
we
you?
had this discussion. All I want is that if the file name that is being passed in is too long of a path, massage it. Just give me just the file name itself.
Yep.
That's it. I'm open for other solutions as well.
Mhm.
I'm not rushing against anything. I don't care. I want to do it right. I don't care to do it early. Right. Okay, so create a random AI file. So that's gonna sit somewhere here, or actually the most relevant to this thing. So private static AI file. Create random AI file. And that will be new AI file. Nope, nope, nope. Create random AI file filler. What did I call it? Create AI file filler. Dot create. So that should be happy, I think. AI file filler dot create. That guy returns an AI file. What's the problem here? An object reference is required for non-static. Static. There you go. So that's this guy. And then we can go back in here and basically say create random AI file. Now, we're going to have to pass something in here that says if the stream is already being passed, we don't go the route of checking the file. And we need to document this because that's not something that people would expect to do. Okay, so this is this guy, so AI file, right? And then here's AI file input AI file equals random AI file, right? And the trick here is the inside of this AI file is what's actually being passed. It's the request itself that is being passed. We would throw, do we throw an exception if there's a response? No, really, we don't care. We just want to go and say, go ahead and do this. So my expectation here is that for the local file mock, we're gonna set it up, right, to return a stream to us. And that stream is gonna be the part that's gonna play that role. So here's my broker. Read file, and then that will be input AI file dot request dot name, and that guy needs to return a stream. So this is my random stream equal create random stream, and then a stream again, and then this is the red stream from random stream, like that. So this is the red stream that's coming back here. And our expectation is for the response will be AI file expected AI file equals input AI file dot deep clone, but expected AI file dot request dot stream or content rather should match the red stream. That's the trick here. The next step here is that we want to go and say this dot local file service mock dot setup broker dot no, not local file, AI file service mock setup. And why am I saying broker? It should be service. You guys are asleep or what?
Yeah, yeah. I was just thinking you will
Your
get
work. Uh-huh.
same with local file one before. Totally.
Right. Um. So it is right. Well, we're sort of. Well, we decoupled it, so it's same AI file as, right? And I need to steal that from here. So AI file as, where is my same AI file as? It should be, there it is. Let's go back here, and this is AI file. This will be on the AI file side, not necessarily. So this AI file, expected AI file, clean that up. And then also we don't have compare logic, that's right. So private read-only I compare logic. There you go. And then I need to initialize that. So this dot compare logic equal new compare logic. There you go. Let's see. Compare logic. This is all good. It's doing this, and the only thing is that we just need to take in that one thing. I think these guys are short enough to be kind of inlined. Control K E. There you go. Same AI file as. Did I give it the right name though? Say yeah, same AI file as. There you go. And then if I go back here, then I have the expected input file, right? I don't know what is this party that's going on here with my open close parentheses. I didn't enable this. I just upgraded Visual Studio. That's all I've done. But that guy should return basically AI file, expected AI file, which is expected input AI file dot deep clone basically. Yeah, talk about Christmas trees, exactly. Gregory's like, what is happening in here? So we also need
Looks like you're drawing a rainbow.
yeah, uploaded AI file. I swear, man, what's happening in here? So okay, so this is that deep clone, good. Uploaded file is what comes back here. And then and then this guy returns async, right? Uploaded AI file. This is expected input. Come on, expected input AI file. Like that. Okay, so AI file, actual AI file. This dot await this dot orchestration service dot upload file async input AI file. There you go. And then I expect that actual AI file should be equivalent to expected AI file, which basically means that these mocks should have been called service.read file and all that jazz in here. This should not be called broker. This should be called service. Come on. There you go. Wow, these cars are annoying. And times once. Come on. Right, the same thing here. We want to go and say that this guy has been called once. Here's a question for the group. Should we verify that the order is enforced in terms of calling these dependencies? Is there any benefit from it?
Yes,
Can you,
that's it.
but wait, well, let's discuss it. Is there any benefit? Can you actually trick the system into believing, because see, there is a dependency here. You can't move forward with upload file async at the foundation service level until you get your stream. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what I call implicit enforced order. Like you're taking one piece from one call and then handing it to the next. Let me explain this for the people watching because that's important. There's something called implicit enforced order. And then there's explicit order. What is that? You want to make sure, let's say you have a service that says something like this. Let's do this. You have a service, you have an orchestration service, and you only can experience this in orchestration services. You will never experience this anywhere else. Orchestration or orchestration-like services. You may also experience it in processing service, which is like a minimized orchestration services. You're registering a student, so you're basically going and saying student service dot submit student async, and you're passing the student in here, and then you're making this dot student service dot request student critic library books async like this. This here falls into you have to do explicit order in this scenario here because there's no correlation. These two are not talking to each other. So anybody could literally go and call it like this, which is completely wrong. It would kind of make your entire system fall apart because there's no student record. How are you going to request student books for a student that doesn't exist? The way to do this is to go and say, oh no, I want my mocking to enforce the order, sequencing. And we talked a little bit about that somewhere, right? In the mock library, you can basically go and say, actually, why don't we show people this in here? So you see how these setups that we're doing in here, we basically go and say var mock sequence, new mock sequence like this, and you go and say in sequence setup like this. You say sequence in sequence, and you pass in that mock sequence like this. So if the order doesn't match the setup chronological order, it blows up, which is amazing, right? Because it basically means that um, you're enforcing that. In this case, that's not true. Why is that? Because we're using the stream that's coming from the service. This is so the implicit enforced order, which is this other scenario where you go and say, hey, dude, I want to get a student by ID. So imagine you're going and saying, await this dot student service dot retrieve student async, and you're passing in student ID in here. So now imagine this call, this dot student libraries dot request student books async, and this wants the entire model of the student. You don't have that model. You have to go in here and say var student or student, and you pass that guy in here. So in this case, you don't really have to enforce order because it's implicit. You can't actually call one without the other. Okay? And that's the kind of conversations that kind of propagates when you start talking about orchestration services and stuff like that. This also needs to match the chronological order. So this AI file mock verify no other calls. So let's see if that works. I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, it definitely doesn't work. What is that? Excuse me. Create random stream. Cannot convert from method group. Yes, you can. Is this a new thing? Of course you can. I was just teaching someone this morning. What is this guy doing? Memory stream, returning a stream. What? What did we do here that's different? Stream, create random stream, create AI file filler. And you called create random stream. Yeah, of course you can. Is this because of the whole static thing? Is that what it is? And then this guy complains because it's static. Oh, fine. There you go. All right, cool. Let's do this again. Hello, do you want to take this one? There you go. That guy is failing. And why it's failing? The method or operation is not implemented. Right? So you see orchestrations are a little bit different. As soon as you see you're making multiple calls like this, yeah, you're
去忙一下啊，sorry。
what are you saying? Are they monetizing World Bank? What did you just say?
Not saying something to my daughter.
Oh, okay. Am I your dog, Kailu? Aw. What up, dog?
No,
Okay,
not
dude.
dog, my daughter.
Oh, your daughter. Your daughter. Okay, got it. Got it. Wow, that's okay. Very different. All right, go ahead. You're it. Orchestrations dash AI files dash upload. Go to town.
One second.
We lost Elbek. Even after he traveled for a long distance, his internet is still...
Now tell me, Elbek, how long does it take you to travel 50 kilometres where you live? Take you an hour to get there, or half an hour?
It's 31 miles. That's like
Oh,
going to
an hour.
Seattle. An hour?
Yeah.
What are you driving to get there?
You know, we have our roads that are not, you know,
Right.
we have
Oh,
pretty
wow.
bad roads, so you need to drive slower.
Wow.
And we have
Okay.
radars everywhere, so you
Wow.
cannot exceed the limit.
Look, man, I appreciate the sacrifice. Truly do. I don't know what club he's in. The music is banging in the background, but you know,
It's my phone actually.
are you in a hospital or something? What's okay?
No,
Oh,
it's an apartment here.
all right, take it home, okay? Let's do it. Hmm. So Parker, we're gonna have this library, on Monday. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm
For sure,
planning
for sure, for sure.
to dig in for the weekend. I actually did a lot of work on it last night. I actually worked right through until nearly 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God.
I wasn't tired. I wasn't tired. Otherwise, I was. I guess
Meanwhile, I'm just sleeping. I'll be like, oh, they're gonna do all the work for me. Just completely out. Be like, oh, Parker got this. All right, let's do it. If they only blinked. Okay. Hmm. He dressed up. He got in a car. He drove for an hour
Then he's going to drive another hour back. Like,
and
Lord.
drives another hour back. Man, I really hope that, he's having some fun out of this in any
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I'll stay tonight in case we might have a session tomorrow.
You'll stay in the street until
No,
tomorrow.
no. We have an apartment here. We have an apartment, so it's no big deal.
You gonna sleep in the parking lot?
Apartment.
Okay, apartment. Got it. Like, what is happening here?
No.
You know you have Visual Studio at home, right? You can play these exact same toys. Except that mine is more colorful for some reason. I don't know what's up with the... See, this is how I know I'm getting really older. I look at all of these things, I'll be like, what is going on here? It's just, it seems like too much pollution, visual pollution.
Yeah, that's been for a while. Colorful places
Oh,
in Visual
really?
Studio Code. In Visual
Mm-hmm.
Studio Code, however, and
Mm.
migrating some features, I guess.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay. So we got the stream. Now we just need to build that object, okay? The AI file, you basically are updating the AI file, the existing one that you're receiving. Content, yeah. Hmm. Yep, that should do it. Good. Mark that as pass and give it back to me. I'll give you one more, and then we'll call it. Gregory says, I have a question for Mr. Elbek. In his IDE, he pulls up a window of active files. What the heck is that? Thanks, Kay.
I didn't get the question. Active files?
Yeah, in your IDE, you pull a list of active files. Tell the truth, son. Mm.
No, I didn't get the question. I don't know. So my Object Explorer goes to active file. Is that what he means? Tracks the active file, I guess.
I, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I didn't get the question.
Gregory, explain. The guy just drove an hour for you to. Crazy.
The guy speaks poor English. Explain in straightforward language.
You don't speak poor English. Who told you that? Brian, does he speak poor English? I don't
No,
think so.
I've never. No, you've got a little bit of an accent, but I've always.
Yeah, he has an
Yeah.
accent.
That's about it.
He sounds Russian to me, but other than that, he's fine. Should upload stream async. See what I'm gonna do there, Kailu? Given when then. So if the person is providing the stream, we don't call the other service. We don't call the other service at all, which is gonna break the first test. It's gonna bring the first test to its knee, right? So AI file, right? There's random AI file. Create random AI file. And this is input AI file, right? And then you have AI file uploaded AI file. And then AI file expected AI file.
I think I get what he means. So when you click Control Tab, it opens up the active files. Control.
What?
So you do Control minus, right, to get to the previous file.
Yeah.
But if I want to go several files back,
Yeah.
you can. You can click
that little
Control
drop down
tab.
here.
No, Control Tab.
Control tab. Control tab.
Yeah.
This?
See. Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about, Greg?
Yeah. I guess he means this.
If it's not, I can't help you here. Okay. AI file service setup. Service, and then this is service.upload file. This is it just taking the AI file as is and basically returning a sync uploaded file. And it's not touching the other service completely because you already provided the string, right? Which basically means that we have actual AI file await this dot service orchestration service dot upload file async. That's your input AI file right here. And then actual should be equivalent to expected done here. And then this dot mock. Let's see here. So AI file service verify. Service input AI file times once. That's one. Why do you say that was it? Thanks. Okay. And then we want to verify this dot local AI file dot verify. So this is the service. It is any string, so it is with any path should be called times how many, Elbek? How many times should you call this one?
Once. No.
You think so? He's asleep. Uh-huh. Tell me. Why is it once? Okay. All right. Yeah, so that should do this because you're basically saying you will never call the read under any circumstances if the person has already provided you with a which basically means once Kailu fixes this, it makes this fail. So Kailu, once you fix this, Elbek will fix the here, take it. It's all yours. Fail. Okay. It's your turn again for some reason. How did that happen? Go. Elbek, why is it never? Did you forget, son? What happened to you?
Yeah. So if there's already a stream, why we should read it one more time?
Yeah,
Right.
if there's a stream, the user is saying, "Hey, look, I'm so generous. I'm gonna give you the stream." But you gotta really document the crap out of this. You gotta basically go and say, "Hey, heads up, if you provide a stream, then we're not gonna go get one based on the name that you provided," which I'm not very happy with. But let's just see what we can. Let's just get a functional system, and then we'll talk about what happens to it next. Doing integration tests for this one will be interesting. Uh-huh. Did the first one fail? Good. Give it to Elbek. Let him fix it. Elbek, how do we fix the first test?
Yes. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
You think you know how to fix it? Yeah, Kylo's doing one of the oldest tricks. You know, you have a situation where two things are happening at the same time. All right, okay, let's go. Okay, Elbek, do you have Visual Studio? Let's start from the top. Ah. Mm-hmm.
So in here it says expected actual file to be this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Does it compare logic failing?
I don't
Request?
know, bro.
Yeah, so let me have a look at this thing. But found null.
Ah.
It says expected actual file.
Mm.
This guy found null. Okay, we should construct this model then.
Maybe.
Right?
Let's see. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. Let's see.
If AI model content is null, then go with it.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the last segment in our stream. So we can wait a minute or you can wait the whole day. I'm not leaving until you figure it out.
Okay.
I know the pain, Elbek. I know the pain.
Yeah. It's going between me and you.
And the more pressure you get, the harder it is to think.
yeah.
Mm,
So, okay, let me understand the question. So if
yeah, we're here to watch you understand it. See, let me just tell you this. Just because I'm talking and joking and writing code at the same time, it doesn't mean that I don't know who's paying attention and who's not. You know, and then I'm gonna call you out like this, be like, hey, it's your turn, deal with it. I bet you thought me calling Kailu and telling him, hey Kay, go ahead and make it pass. You're like, oh, I'm off the hook. Uh, this is not a car showing, son. You know, it doesn't do pretty. You're gonna have to write code with us.
so,
Mm, tell me,
I, re-
tell me.
I really want Kalu to document how he gets those fancy fat arrows.
Oh, I asked him and he said I didn't change anything.
Yeah, right.
I really did. I asked him, dude, what did you do? And he's like, I didn't change anything. This is Elbek, by the way. That's his ID.
Oh, really? He's got the same thing. How'd you do it, Elbek?
yeah, I changed the font from
Ah, so
word like tone to something
Mm.
so it's the
better.
font that's doing it. I get it. Yep.
Wait, are you debugging the tests? Wow,
Yeah.
you really are trying to find an answer. Okay, let's do it. Mm.
It is not.
Mm.
I thought his stream had dropped there for a sec. Now he's thinking.
Mm. Whoa.
Where are we going with this?
Whoa.
Holy dooly.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Uh, and just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Kylo,
just
Kylo,
look at the logic and see what's
Mhm.
extra. What's extra there?
what's extra? See, even Kailu's trying to help you. Kailu wouldn't help you for nothing. Kailu's telling you, I feel sorry for you, dude. Also, Kailu will be like, it's late, dude. I need to go. Come on. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, this orchestration service, makes you think. So that's why
Oh
I'm
yeah.
thinking.
Oh yeah. All the brain work happens in
Yeah.
orchestration.
So
Foundations, anybody could do that.
yeah. If it's not.
Like, why do you want to call refile, Elbek?
Yeah, because we don't. The user hasn't specified the
And then
the
what's
stream, right?
in your test? What's in your test? What's
Oh,
in
we
your
should.
test?
The test says. Let's go to this. And then
He
test
almost
says.
dropped it on your lap.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
test says
I
return
don't know. I
this
don't know why he's doing this. I don't know why Kailu's helping him. I was having fun.
I've never heard Caleb help.
He will if he feels bad for you. If he feels bad enough, be like, all right, okay, Hassan is dropping the ball on this person.
So we should say never.
Oh boy, that would break everything.
Hmm.
All right, give him 5 more minutes.
5.
Yeah, five more minutes. Kailu, shut up. Do not help. 5 more
5.
minutes of this on the stream.
This takes ages.
What's different about this scenario? What are we doing?
Yeah, so this is uploading file by reading it, and this is uploading the stream right away. And
Mhm.
here in the logic,
You even said it just then.
Mm. You guys are fun killers. You're helping him. Why are you doing that?
I'm not helping him. I'm just making it more, giving him more anguish.
What's the difference between the two scenarios?
the stream, the content, right?
Right. So why is the first one failing? You kind of got close there. Why did you mark file read as never? Why did you mark it as never?
So in this case, while we are reading the file, it should actually be once, called once. If the
Yes.
stream is not specified.
Yeah, but it's
Or it's not
saying
there.
yeah, very close. Yes. So it should call it once, right? Because the stream is not what?
It's not there, it's null.
Right. So
So in the random, did it create a stream?
Oh. Here it says red stream.
uh,
In the
When
random,
you create the input AI file, did it create a stream?
red stream input AI file.
yeah.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Then we should ignore that.
Or
Because with that, you break the other test.
you break
right?
the other one.
Should create another filler then, without the stream.
No, or you can just explicitly
yeah.
say, hey, look,
Yeah.
this is intentionally null.
Here. So AI file. Oh no. Input AI file.
Mm-hmm. Request
Content.
content is. Now run the test.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi. You made it. Hey. Good morning.
Yeah. That's good. Good boy. Okay, pass.
All right, give it back to me. I need to clean something up. So that's doing it right. Let's make it purdy. Purdy birdie. Sorry, Elbek, it was your turn to be picked on, so
Yeah.
may as well just have fun with you.
I need
Focus
to
and
rewatch these episodes.
By the way, if you go a little bit earlier, I said exactly, but you gotta be very, very. The thing that I say to anyone that works with me, pay very close attention to detail. And if I catch you sleeping, I'm gonna have fun with you. A little bit of fun. So one nicer way to do this is just say no stream, and it's null. And then we take that, we're being very verbose and saying, hey, no stream. There's no stream here. That's one. But then the other thing is to make it even prettier. And what I mean here is by going and saying I want to go and say, well, if everything is determined by the content, can I just go say AI file dot request dot content switch, right? And then if it is null, right? Then we basically go and do reading the file and all that. We basically call a method that gives us back this stream. Or let's just create a method first. So I'm gonna go here and say, okay, here is a public, private async value task, right? Here's my AI file, like that. And then I want to read file, read upload file, async, which will take the AI file itself, AI file like this. Yeah, of course everything is messed up because of this guy. Let me break these two into two methods. Oh, I love the it's a party. There's a party going on in Visual Studio. Do you see all the colors, the blues and the oranges and oh boy, that's a whole story right here. Right? So it's this guy, right? And then we basically go and say return await this dot, AI file dot upload file async. And here's your AI file. We modified it, so it took care of this piece for us. This is read upload file async. The other one is just the call itself. We really skip all of that. So I can go up here and say return AI file dot request content switch, and we're basically doing pattern matching in here. So in this, we want to go and say if it's an actual object, if it's already provided the content, then all what we gotta do is just call the service and just upload the file. Otherwise, right, go ahead and read upload file async with your AI file in here. Okay, now here's a little challenge for everybody, something for people to think about. What's a nicer way to do this?
Well,
If
it's
search.
line 30, it's null, right? Instead of the brackets, null, right? Should be.
Line 30?
Yeah, instead of the bracket, it should be null, right?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. I wanted it to be no, if the content is present, you upload the file directly, right? You don't call the read because the
I
content is
see.
present.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But this is still not pretty enough.
Okay.
Why is it? Okay, let's just first ask this. Why is it not pretty enough?
It's not explicit.
Nope, that's not it.
Then why aren't we using tertiary statements? Because there are two only cases.
You mean ternary statements?
Ternary, yeah, tertiary. Yeah, ternary.
It's the same thing. This is just prettier.
Oh, prettier? Okay.
There's one thing in here that's horrible, and we shouldn't have done it. What is it?
You're calling the same method twice.
Yes, there you go, Kailu. I'm repeating code in here. That's crazy, right? We shouldn't be doing that. What's a prettier way to do this?
You can switch on the content. So
Switch on the content. Like switch
yeah,
statement?
yeah, switch statement on the you play with that instead of playing with the upload file.
So you're basically saying like this.
You're still in the private method, but
in the private method here.
yeah.
There's a better way to do this. There's a really, really sweet way you can do something like this. The issue with this pattern matching is that it won't let you easily have multiple lines. It has to be one statement. So you can't save that. Gregory says extract a method. For what? For the return? No, it's not it. We want the orchestration, which is what's happening here. This is called orchestration, like decision making, right? We want it to be very visible like that, but the problem here, like Kailu pointed out, look, I'm calling this line here, and I'm going and calling this line here again. So with every one of these, instead of using this line once, which will apply to both methods, I'm using it twice. But I want to use this pattern matching. Something to think about. Okay, I'll let you think about it. And take your shot, right? It's supposed to be, so here's what I want. I want this pattern matching to still be used. But I don't want to repeat this line. And I still want to say return a file content switch and return the rest of that. How do we do that? What should we do?
By extracting method, maybe Gregory means upload this line of code should be on its own method.
This guy should be its own method?
Yeah.
How is
And
that any
call-
different than calling it twice?
Yeah.
You're still calling it twice.
Yeah.
Well, you're not calling it twice, but you're referencing it twice.
Mhm.
Remember how I told you there's make it work, making it right, making it pretty. It's already pretty, but we can make it prettier even beyond that point. Something to look into. Codrab, add pattern matching. Otherwise, Kailu's if statement trumps that. Because he's already fulfilling these positions, except that, can we make it pretty? Something for Monday to talk about. Thank you all for joining in today.
I can
And
tell you right now if
tell
you
me.
want.
No, do not let people think. You know too much. That's the problem, Kailu. You know, just let people kind of try. You know, and then on Monday, if nobody knows, we'll ask Kailu. We'll tell him, hey, Kay, what do you think? Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you all. Take care.